Hey everybody, okay, I'm trying this again. Let's see. I'll just head over to my page here to see if there's actually any noise this time. Oh my goodness, this has been so frustrating. Anywho, let's see. Before I start talking again, I'll just see if there is sound this time. Okay, looks like there is. Yay! Hey Sharon, can you hear me? Oh, I can hear it on my phone, so must be all good. Before I start talking. Hey Sherelle. Okay, looks like there is. All right, looks like there is sound this time, and that was very frustrating because I speak all this really good stuff and then there's no sound. Anyway, let's start again. Oh, you can hear me now. Awesome. That's great, Sherelle. Thank you for being patient. All right, so happy Sunday, everybody. I just wanted to wish you well and hope you're having an amazing day. It's such an amazing, beautiful day here. The birds are singing, the sun is out, there's a beautiful breeze. So I've left all the windows open, so you might get to hear the birds. Hopefully not too many barking dogs, but we'll see how we go. So I wanted to talk to you today about how to be disciplined when you're a daydreamer. I was sitting there last night thinking, wow, I'm doing my business full time from home now. I'm a real daydreamer. How am I going to deal with that? I thought, well, there's so many people in my community that are also daydreamers. So hop on here and let's find some solutions to that. And daydreaming isn't a bad thing, right? I learned several years ago that daydreaming is actually a good thing, despite being told in school that it was a bad thing, right? I changed my perspective on that because it really is a good thing. Daydreaming is where I get all my channeling. Daydreaming is where I get my inspired ideas. Daydreaming is where I get my solutions. Yep. Also my visions forward. So it's a really important part of everybody's life. So don't discount daydreaming. It really is good. But if you want to be more productive in your day, there needs to be a bit more discipline around it. And I've got some tips here for you that might help. But I also want to say that daydreaming is different to lack of motivation. I just want to clarify those two things because a lack of motivation indicates that you're really not interested in what you're meant to be doing. You're not motivated to do it. That's why I like to call myself an inspiring speaker, not a motivational speaker, because I like to inspire people to find what they love doing, not have to motivate someone to love what they don't like doing, right? So there's a difference there. So if you're not feeling motivated to take actions or to discipline yourself around some things during the day, either in your business or your life, then I would be asking different questions and asking, why am I not motivated? And how can I be doing something that does motivate me? And I mean, ultimately, this is what I work with people with, finding that clarity, because life's too short to be unmotivated, right? Let's all live our purpose and live our passion and not need to be motivated, but be absolutely inspired on a daily basis. So having said that, how do we find discipline every day to actually be productive in our lives and in our business when we really love daydreaming? So there are just so many things that I want to say here to you. I do have 10 points here that I've written that we will go through. But I also feel, as well as the little talk about motivation, I also feel it's important for you to know who you are. Now, if you're the type of person who likes to get up early and smash everything out and have the rest of the day off, that's good. You will have different disciplines to someone like me who likes to, I kind of get up into gear at this hour of the day, right? And work a little bit later. So you need to know who you are, because your disciplines will be unique to you and to how you want to work. And all of the old structure, everything that's being structured is restructuring, but all the old kind of, rules, I guess, or, you have to work from this hour to this hour and have a break. No, you work and do your business, your craft, your creativity, whatever it is that you do. It's really best to do that when you are feeling most inspired to do it, I feel. But there needs to be discipline around that. So let's go through the 10 things that I've written here that will help you find some discipline amongst all that daydreaming. And once again, I want to reiterate that daydreaming is important and don't stop it. But try to weave it in to some form of discipline during the day so that you can actually be productive. We can daydream and try to manifest and do all that stuff as much as we want. But if we're not taking action towards what it is that we want, we won't move forward. So the discipline here is about taking action steps on a daily basis to get to where you want to go. So that's important to know who you are and where you're going, right? What do you want to achieve? And, what are those small steps that you can take? So how to be disciplined when you are a daydreamer. Number one, here's what I have really found helps. Get up, have a shower, and start the day, right? And in this current climate where we are confined to our homes, it's so easy not to do that. It's so easy just to kind of get up and, for instance, I did that this morning, right? But as I said, that I know who I am, and that's okay. That I didn't actually have a shower like at 7 o'clock. I didn't have my shower till about 11. I had breakfast at 10:30, and I just kind of did some stuff in the morning. But I work later, so I know who I am. But if you're the type of person who needs to smash things out in the morning, get up, have a shower, get dressed, get ready for the day, and discipline yourself to get a few things done. That's my first tip. The second thing is, when you do get up, or you can even do this the night before, write down the 3 top things that you want to achieve in your day. Just write 3 down. They'll end up being more, especially if you're very inspired with your work. But 3 things, right? So my 3 things this morning were changing a few things on my website, writing a blog, and creating a new program. Now, I've done all of those already, so now I get to do some fun stuff like this, which will, and probably some other things now. But I've got the 3 things done that I wanted to do today. And I've certainly had a lot of time in between and done a fair bit of daydreaming, right? So 3 top things that you want to do that day. Don't bombard yourself with a massive list of to-dos, because that's when the procrastination will set in. So 3 top things you want to get done. And you can write 3 things for all different areas of your life if you want to. So for me, I'm here on my own, and so I don't have family commitments or anything like that. But you could write 3 top things you want to do in business that day, 3 top things you want to do with your family that day, 3 top things you want to do for yourself that day, right? And just work those those few things, and you'll be super productive. Now, the third thing is, when you do start the task that you're about to do, one of your 3 things, when you start it, set yourself a time limit, right? This is where the discipline comes in. It's like, okay, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to set myself a solid hour or 2 hours, might even be half an hour, whatever the time is for you. I'm going to set this time until it's done. Now, some people have apps on their phones that time things. You can also turn off all your social media and really focus in for that half hour, that hour, that hour and a half, that 2 hours, however long it takes you to do that task, and really just sit and do it. That's the discipline of it. And then it's done, right? And your productivity is so much greater than flicking over to social media all the time, or distracting yourself with other things. Choose the task that you're about to do and do it. Set yourself a time. If it's a big task that's going to take 4 or 5 hours, certainly don't sit there for that long. Do it in blocks of time. So at least sit there for an hour, have a break, sit there for another hour. That's the discipline here of achieving those tasks that you've set yourself for the day. And the thing that I really like about setting tasks rather than having a schedule is that I did at one stage set a schedule, like, right, I'm going to write a blog at 9 o'clock, I'm going to do this at 11 o'clock, and I'm going to do this. But my creativity doesn't work like that. So once again, you need to know who you are, you need to know yourself and what works best for you. If that works best for you, if you're a process kind of person, if you're like, okay, this, and this, then do it that way. If you're more creative like me and you need to be in the flow, if you're going to be writing something, because I channel most of my stuff. So it's not something that I can always just tune into like that. If you're like me, then just set those 3 tasks for the day. And when you're ready to do it, set that block of time to do it and have that discipline. Now, the 4th thing, if your mind does wander off into la la land while you're in the middle of a task, go and ground yourself. Do something, get up, make a cup of tea, wash the dishes, walk out in your garden, get bare feet on the grass. But once again, discipline yourself just to do that for 10 or 15 minutes, because procrastination can really set in there, and you'll know if you're procrastinating, right? I know when I am, because I'll just start cleaning, and like 2 hours later, I'm like, yeah, I'm cleaning because there's something I need to do and I just don't want to do it, right? So there's a fine line there between taking a break and getting grounded and getting caught back up in procrastination. So be aware of that. But if you do find yourself in la la land while you're in the middle of doing a task, just take a breather. Even if you just close your eyes for a few minutes, just do something to really bring yourself back to the present and continue. Now, I was like this continually in my day job, right? Working in an office situation, I continually just checked out because I can't hold my focus on something that is mundane in some instances for too long. So I would check out, but I would always come back. But that's just how I worked, and I had more productivity that way. So once again, you've got to know who you are and how you work best. Okay, number 5. Here's something I really like to do, which gets me motivated first thing in the morning, is I book appointments and I have clients first thing in the morning. That gets me up, out of bed, dressed, done up, ready to go. And because of that, I tend to be more productive during the day because I'm not sitting around till 11 o'clock daydreaming about life and going off in my own little vortex. So that might help you as well. Book your clients in the mornings so that you have to be up. Now, I also have a TV show that's on first thing in the morning on a Wednesday, so I've got to be up early for that. And I have some other things that that are kind of booked in first thing in the mornings. And that just really helps me because while I like sleeping in, I usually don't feel as good that day when I do sleep in. So that might be the same for some of you as well. So book things in first thing in the morning. Number 6, if you are stuck on something and you're in the middle of doing your task, whatever one of those 3 things is for the day, if you're stuck on doing that, have the discipline to take a moment and ask for the answers. It might be something that you're doing that's creative that you need an answer for that you're just stuck on. So rather than getting frustrated and annoyed, just breathe into it for a moment. You can meditate for a few moments, ask Spirit for the answer, and then get back into whatever you're doing, and the answer will come, right? So, often when we're stuck in a task and it's frustrating, it's very easy, especially when we're in a home office environment. It's very easy just to kind of go, I don't want to do that anymore, and get up and go do something else, right? But then you don't get the task done, and at the end of the day, you'll be beating up on yourself for not doing it. So this is where the discipline is, so that you can really celebrate completing something. But don't give up on yourself. And if something is blocking you on that particular thing that you want to do, just take a breather, ask for help, get back into it, and the help will come. Now, number 7, daydreaming really is important, and that's where a lot of inspired ideas come from. So write them down. Write them down. It's really it's really good too and fun to have like an ideas book. I learned that from Sandy Foster when I was doing one of her courses. Because when you're creative and you've got all these ideas, you just want to go, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. It's like the bright shining light, right? But here's the thing, not all of those ideas have legs, and they are distracting you. So if you've got a book there, you can write them all down in your book when they come, and then have a look at them in 24 hours time, and some of them will just fizzle out, but others over time you'll be able to join them together and bring together 3 or 4 or more ideas into the one project, and it'll be much stronger and more satisfying for you. So keep on daydreaming, but write down the ideas that come. I've got, this book I'm using now, there's no rhyme or reason to my book. I just write down whatever comes, and then I go back through and I go, that was a great idea. Oh yeah, I remember when I thought that. Right? So write it down, get it out of your head. Then when it's out of your head, you can then go back to the task at hand and discipline yourself to finish it. Number 8, if you are not if you are learning something, so if you are a student of something right now, and we are all students of something, if you are not disciplined in learning it in the current format or the current way that you are learning it in, and you get distracted, change the way you're learning it. So an example of this is books. Now, I've got a zillion books, and I used to love reading books. Now, when I focus on a page for even up to 10 minutes, this eye just goes blurry, and it's frustrating for me. And I get annoyed with it, and I can't focus on the book. But I learned a different way, and I now use Audible. And I learn a lot by hearing books now. I listen to the books. So I've learned a different way to, I found a different process, a different modality to learn what I needed to learn. And you can do that too. So whatever it is for you, if you're finding whatever you're learning is frustrating, try to find another way to learn it. Don't just give up altogether not learning it, because this is a discipline. We're learning every day so that we can grow every day. And the more that we learn, the more that we can teach. Yeah, and the more that we teach, the more we learn. That's how it is. So if you are in a business, you've got to constantly be learning. You've got to constantly be learning. And if you're in a service-based business, in an intuitive business, in a spiritual business, a healing and energy business, which I know many of you are that are listening to this, you've got to be on a continual learning curve. Because you're attracting clients to you that are going to keep pushing you to be a greater version of yourself. And that requires learning. And if you can't find a way that really inspires you to learn, then you're going to go back to the old discipline of not feeling motivated and just continuing to daydream rather than learning, and then you'll get frustrated and start beating up on yourself. So find a different way. I find Audible is fantastic, but for many of you who can sit and just read a book, like I used to be able to read a book in a day or overnight, right? But I can't now. I just got this issue with my eye and I just can't do it. So Audible is fantastic for me. Many of you love the online learning platforms. Some of you prefer face-to-face. Whatever it is for you, find the modality that works. Now, number 9 is create boundaries in your home. If there are other people there. And I think even if you are like me and you don't have anyone else in your environment, there still needs to be some boundaries, right? So whenever I'm doing something like this, I have the phone turned off. If someone was knocking at the door now, I wouldn't answer it. There needs to be some boundaries so that when you are doing that task or that particular piece of work that you're doing right then and there, you need to have that block of time to do it without distractions. And, we can really self-sabotage with this. We can make excuses and we can say, oh, well, I couldn't get that done because such and such happened. Or I couldn't get that done because the kids needed me for something. I couldn't get that done because, my husband came home from work and needed my attention or something, whatever it is for you. We can really self-sabotage here. And it's important to put these boundaries up so that you can get your work done, because your work's important. Whatever it is at the beginning of the day that you say you're going to do, if it wasn't important to you, you wouldn't have written it down. So it's important to put up. And, this is a 4-year that we're in. It's all about structure, restructuring, putting boundaries in place, putting some foundations. And, I just feel that while it may be difficult, if you've created other habits within everybody around you, that they don't respect your time, then it's going to be a little bit difficult. You're going to come up against some resistance to it on both sides. But if you can be strict and once again have that discipline in place, you will find that it won't take long. Right, you'll find that if the work is really important for you to do, you will do it, and you'll put the boundaries up. Number 10, be easy on yourself and don't compare yourself with anyone else. This has been a really big lesson for me. Now, the 3 things that I already got done today weren't difficult because I focused in and I got it done. And I feel like I've only worked an hour today. right, which I haven't. It's been a little bit more than that. But I feel like I've only worked a small amount of the day, and I've had a lovely day just gazing out the window, looking at the trees and the weather. And, that isn't the case. But when I used to get in that frame of mind of, okay, well, I've done those couple of things, I don't feel like I've worked. I know that really successful people work 15 hours a day. I'd better get cracking and do some more stuff, right? That's me comparing myself with other people. And I used to be a workaholic back in my old business, and it really didn't get me anywhere except tired, right? So I enjoy living as well. I enjoy daydreaming. I enjoy gazing out the window. I enjoy going for a walk with my dog. I enjoy doing some creative stuff. But I'm also very driven and very passionate about my business. So I get done what needs to be done. Now, look, today, like it's Sunday, right? I probably shouldn't be working at all, but seeing we're all kind of at home now, every day is just blending into the other. But it's important for me to get these things in place in my business so that I can reach more people, because there are people out there calling this message in that I'm bringing, and I know that I can help them. If I'm sitting around and having no discipline at all, I won't get my work out there, and those people that are manifesting this message that I bring won't be receiving it. So I've got a big why, and my why keeps me motivated, inspired, and it keeps me disciplined on those days when it's difficult for me. Today wasn't so difficult because I had the 3 things I wanted to do. It's taken me most of the day to do them in between, just daydreaming. But I got them done, and I feel good about myself, and I know that it's moved my business forward. Yes, there are some more things that I could probably do, and maybe I will later, because my best time is kind of later at night. But I want you to stop beating up on yourself and comparing yourself to other people. You don't have to sit there for an 8-hour block working your ass off and not producing any results. Like, I've been there as well, right? If you want to give yourself more than 3 tasks, do that. Don't give yourself a list of things that are going to take you over the edge, because you'll just get so frustrated with it that you won't do anything. And you'll get back to that procrastinating, which is not daydreaming. Right? So, yeah. And as I said in the beginning, often you are more productive in small bursts than sitting there and kind of trudging it out. Now, let's go back to what I said in the beginning. It's really important to know you, who you are, and how you are most productive. Everything I've outlined here may not work for you, right? You've got to do what works for you. This is what works for me. And there are days where I work, like I do more than 3 tasks, right? And there are days where I will work quite long hours. But then there are other days where, like today, where I just feel like I haven't worked at all, where I know I have, and I've achieved something, and I feel good about what I've achieved today. I've been productive. I've created something new that will help people, and I've created a more clear way for people to connect with me. So, for me, it's been a great day, but I've also had my time just drifting out there, daydreaming, and bringing in more inspired ideas. So I hope this has helped you and served you in some way. A couple of the really important points here: know who you are and what you love doing, and you won't need to motivate yourself. You'll already be inspired. Okay, it's the first thing. The second thing is, don't compare yourself to anyone else. and really be disciplined first thing in the day to set yourself those goals. What am I going to achieve today? And there are days in the business where the days are full of clients, and so you don't get a lot of the to-do list done, right? Because clients are really important, and there are days like that. But then there are other days that you build up the different foundations in your businesses. And it's on days like that that discipline is really important to move you forward in a successful direction. So I hope that those tips will keep you daydreaming. It's important. Keep you daydreaming, but also give you some discipline during the day to achieve what it is that you want to achieve. And so at the end of each day, you feel good about yourself. And the end of each week, you can start seeing some actual results from your inspired action that you are taking. Discipline is your action. Daydreaming is your inspiration. Perfect. Now, the new program that I created today, you may be interested in. I've put the link up in the description. It's your prosperity and purpose. And I feel that so many people are tuning into this right now. We've been given a divine intervention here to really think about what brings us joy. What is our purpose in life? What is it that we love doing, right? For so many years, I was in a career that I did love for a certain amount of years, but then I just became a robot in that. It became a job, and it became really draining. And I had a deeper calling here. And the crisis for me at that time was in my well-being. I was just becoming a robot and overtired and not looking after myself, and I was heading to ill health. That was the crisis that changed things for me and transformed my life. This crisis we're having at the moment could be the catalyst that will transform your life as well. And it is really tough right now for so many people. But if you've been wanting to change, and if you've been wanting something different in your life, now is a perfect opportunity to really get clear on that, right? What would you be doing on a daily basis? Who would you be if you were fully in your purpose and doing something that meant something to you? Your why. It's a really great time to reflect and contemplate on that, because this next month, this next 2 months would really give you the opportunity to get so clear on that you could create your own business around it or enhance the business you've got now and be ready to serve people and serve people on purpose, people that are also manifesting you and your message. So it's a beautiful time really to think about that, and just to ask yourself, especially if you've been unhappy where you were or in your career or your job for some time, just ask yourself, well, if I was truly inspired and living my purpose and my passion, how would that feel and what would I be doing? And then you can daydream about it and you'll get inspired ideas. So if you are interested though in working with me in a 6-week mentoring program, I've created one especially for this, and I would love to mentor you in this and move you forward and actually have your life looking different at the end of 6 weeks. Looking different, feeling different, and feeling like you're on purpose and finding the prosperity in that. So reach out, message me, or reach out through the link on the page and email me or message me, and I'll be happy to talk to you about it. All right, keep on daydreaming. Keep on daydreaming, it's important, and keep on doing that important work that you do as well. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and I will talk to you really soon. And who's here? Hey, Sherelle. I'll just say a quick hello to everyone. Hey, Carrie. Hi, Lisa. Hey, Charlotte. How are you doing? Kelly's here. Hey, Kelly. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Let me see if anyone else is here. You're the only ones who've commented, so
Yes, yay!
let me whoop. Now that we've got sound, I can't turn the sound off. Awesome. All right, thank you all for joining me. I hope that's really helped and made a difference today, and given you something to think about. Bye now.